All right, yarn building. I want to just give you a walk around. Total chaos, lots going on, but I figured we'll show. I've been showing you inside the hex. If you're not an Inside the Hex member and you want to follow along all the detail, I do that in my normal vlogs. We did a couple this week, but I figured for the main channel, let's walk you around what's going on here. If you're not familiar, this is the building right behind OGHQ that I got the lease for, that I have a 3-year lease with 2 3-year options with the first right to purchase. I didn't want to purchase these buildings. The owners don't want to sell, not yet. They're both retired, but I didn't want to purchase the buildings because I don't know what we're going to need. If this thing continues to grow at the pace it's growing, we're going to need some 50,000 square foot facility. But for now, it still makes sense for me to invest in, spending some money on all of the, all the setup, the air conditioning, because we're going to be spending a lot of time in there, and of course the studio and how that's all set up. So let's go around the side here since we have the camera set up. We pulled out the old AC units. They had some old crappy units in here that were 15 years old. So we have 3 Carrier 3-ton units. Perry's crew's here, who's basically on retainer. They're putting in a new exterior sub panel because we ran out of room, and wiring up our AC units. So there's a line they buried that run over here to tandem or piggyback on our electrical setup. And you'll notice over here on the side, they pulled out and had to just we're just having to cap off where the original exterior or the AC unit was. And this is the back side of the building, so as long as it looks cleanly done, that's all we need. So we're gonna enter from the back here because that's where I'm gonna spend most of my time. When Mike gets here, he and I are gonna build a wash bay. So we're gonna build like a pole barn type wash bay out here. But for now, I'm still searching I need to find some exterior doors that are insulated. This is gonna be the real weak point. But notice, a lot of chaos going on here, but there's quite a bit of changes since a couple of days ago. So in here, this is where my studio is going to be. So this is where we'll be able to fit 5 cars in here. Hunter road force mounting and balancing. HVAC silent piston compressor. We'll be doing dry ice cleaning and stuff in here as well. We have my cabinet array, a recessed Nussbaum lift, and everything's going to be in here. This is where you'll see lots and lots of videos. We're going to be testing all kinds of Cree lighting solutions and really an insane amount of stuff. So we're doing this dense deck largely because you probably can't really get drywall, and this was in stock, and it actually works out. This is like an exterior version of drywall that they're going to run all the way up to the ceiling. So if you'll notice, I paid to have them come and frame out. I think drywall, framing, all the interior changes here for the contractor are probably going to be about $40,000 and then I have another $30K in air conditioning. So probably about $100,000 worth of improvements you're seeing here. And I know some of you are freaking out to a building I'm renting or leasing. Well, if I want it to be set up the way I want, then this is what I got to do. So framed all the way up to the ceiling. So they'll be doing this drywall here. Start on Monday. They'll come and wrap all this stuff up. As you can see, the guys from my buddies from Kalos are here doing spiral. So those 3 AC units, 2 of the main areas are done with this, I think, really sick looking spiral duct. Jesse and the crew came out and I asked them to get it as close to the ceiling as possible. And so we actually added a little, what is that, like a 30 degree?
Yeah, it's
something like that.
less than that. It's more like 20.
Like a 20-degree bend, and then there'll be vents on the front and back side, so we get some good quality air distribution. The key here is we needed to suck it up as close to the ceiling as possible because my lift is going caddy corner. And so behind the camera here is where all our cabinet array is going to be, and so the car will be here. And so we have about, at minimum, we have 11 plus feet, which means it's not going to interfere with the hood being open or anything like that. And you'll notice the spiral is coming from our 3-ton unit. Are these 3 tons?
Yes.
3 tons, right?
Yes, sir.
And then that's our return. So we had to put a big return there, but the guys at Kalos doing everything super clean, super dialed, so we don't see a bunch of crap all over the place. But this is also, oh, by the way, this is also going to have a 100-pint dehumidifier, so it'll pull 100 pints of water a day out of this place as well, with the dehumidification focused on this area, largely because the guys sitting in the main area will they're not doing anything strenuous, or here I'll be running around doing stuff, and so we want it to be dehumidified. So this wall here, this main wall, was only a 3/4 wall, I guess we can call it, or a 7/8 wall. It was almost all the way to the ceiling, but because we're going to have 20 humans next door, we're going to be shooting video here, I wanted this to be quiet, and so this plywood wall was insulated, but only went up 3/4 of the way, and there was no air conditioning on this side other than what came over the top. And so you can see all our data runs, all our Cat 6s run all over the place, and then the drywall will go all the way to the ceiling there, and then this will be totally isolated. We have an exterior insulated door for a solid core door to keep the two areas separate, so that way we can shoot videos and not be interrupted. Over here will be parking area for a car. Notice Hunter Auto 42S. Right behind there is a Hunter, I think an R13 Road Force balancer. And so those are going in the corner here. So this will be cased and run up with drywall. And so we'll have our Road Force balancer and our Auto 42S here, both of which you work from the right. We'll still need some room, and so it'll take up this entire area all the way to the garage door. I'm working on getting either CHI or overhead doors, trying to get an R7 or R8, the most heavily insulated doors I can get. Right now, these are just open, solid, single panel manual doors that we'll be swapping out. Mr. Perry's been here running electrical, so I have 220 volt lines, as well as we move these up and recessed so that all of the electrical panel, or all the duplexes there, all of our outlets are recessed with and we'll swap out all these to probably Lutron as well. This is my air compressor, my FIAC, silent piston with built-in dryer, horizontal 80-gallon tank. That's going here in the corner. This will be, and then next to that will be where we'll put our dry ice. And then next to that is going to be a KWS 700. And then when Mike gets here, we're going to build a custom and then probably start selling and offering higher-end deionization solutions for the garage as well. This is going to get 5 rows of, I believe, 32 fixtures are going in here, but we're going to have linear fixtures. These will be LS4s and LS8s, 90 plus CRI Cree fixtures that will be hung all the way up from jack chain on the ceiling, but they'll run straight across, and it's going to look really freaking good. And they're going to be dome lights, or there'll be rounded lights, and so we'll get full light distribution of all the way up to the ceiling, so there won't be any spots where we'll have any kind of shadowing here. It's going to be really pretty incredible. So let's go into the media bay. We need to create a name for this. But in here is where all the guys are going to be. So this is going to be design. So lights are off because they're doing some electrical. Notice up there is where our air handlers, our server. They're going to put a door on there as well. That will also be insulated and soundproofed. And there'll be our return ducts will be up there. That room will also be cooled, so they'll run a duct into that room so our server can run cool and quiet up in that room. So we had that built. We're getting new solid core doors for both the bathrooms. So when guys are in there, creating atrocities, the sound will be contained within the 2 bathrooms that we have next door. Notice on this wall, the window's been taken out. Cat 6 has been set up. This is where Kyle's array is going to go of Sonic MSS Plus. We're going to have 3 workstations with a large display here in the corner. We're doing designs as well as an island. So we're going to have an MSS Plus island here doing all blue tree tops. It's really going to look pretty sick. In here is going to get LS4, LS8, 90 plus CRI, Cree lights. By the way, everything will be dimmable. We're going to have a Vive hub, and so this will all be controlled by Lutron Vive from our phones, and as well as light switches. But this is going to have square fixtures hung from cabling, from Cree cabling rather than jack chain up to the ceiling. Those fixtures are going to hang down quite a bit lower. We're doing square because we want some more pinpoint lighting. All of this will be painted, drywall, all this will be fixed and repaired and painted, of course, Harbor Gray like normal. This table will be coming out of here. The guys also from Dunright Electric have changed out all our switches to recess those because they were just stuck on a wall with a piece of trim around it. So although quite a bit of work, I think it's worth it to remove these goofy little boxes of trim pieces on the wall. The spiral duct went up about 2 feet, so it's 2 feet closer to the ceiling. I notice it's coming off of our other new air handler. So again, this will be conditioned and really, really comfortable. We really needed to do a pretty sophisticated AC system, or at least a pretty stout system, because we're going to have 4 desks here, 6 desks there. Again, those 3 positions. So we're going to be fitting, just without crunching people in here. 13 to 15 people in this room at all times, and this will be where tech support, customer service, whatever we're going to call those, as well as design will all be in this area. Then over here, notice we closed up this doorway, closed off this doorway, closed off this window, so this will be a flat wall. We'll do Cree CR fixtures here in this ceiling. I don't need this, but it's already here and I really don't want to pull it out. So in here, this will be the media hub. So this is where Bryce and his team will be doing all of the editing and production and all the things that we do. We'll have multiple desks in here, as well as possibly a desk here, a desk over there. Our other new carrier, 3-ton is over here to condition this area. So this is where the 3rd air conditioning unit is. We'll probably do all new drop ceiling tiles. I've got all new Cree ZR fixtures coming in here. By the way, the color temp on this side of the building will be 4,000 Kelvin. It'll be 5,000 in my bay, in the garage bay. And then I had them put this doorway in. The plan was to take this wall out, but the issue is the ceilings are different heights. So we'd had to rip the ceiling out, and I didn't want to do that. And so instead, we added this doorway to open up the room, and then we closed off, created the editing dungeon. We thought about putting a doorway into here, but then that would intrude into our photo studio. We're going to have a big giant blue tree top across here, multiple workstations, and a large display with a couch for screening. And here we'll probably do some Dyne Audio studio monitors and stuff. But this will be where we'll be able to control light, close the door, edit, and do color correcting and things like that on all of our videos. And then behind that wall is where we're going to have our photo studio. So this will be for unboxing and photo production. So in this room, we're gonna have a grid hanging from all thread, or thread rod will be hanging from the ceiling, and that grid will be where we can attach cameras, lights, both photography lighting, so we'll have strobes and studio lighting for doing unboxing. So imagine we're gonna have a large list top of some sort, or maybe some sort of sonic workbench. And then behind here, this door will be closed off, and we'll have a sonic array that goes from wall to wall, corner to corner. And this is where we'll keep all our photography gear locked up as well. And notice I'm drywalling up, so that way this room is isolated. We're probably gonna have to do some acoustic treatment as well in here. But this room will be really designed so that we can take photos without having to intrude upon the other video area. So we'll be able to quickly come in, shoot dozens of product video or product photos, as well as doing unboxing videos and things like that. And we'll have a workstation here, where I think what we'll probably do is just set up our camera on tripod and just tether our photos right to the computer, right to Photoshop, so we can edit immediately right in computer, right off camera. And then this here will be all painted black, but still look very industrial. It's because the way the lighting's going to hang in here in the grid, you're not going to be able to see above it anyway, but this will all be painted and cleaned up and nice. But the walls will probably find some sort of anti-reflective paint. This here, the kitchen, we're not messing with this, but eventually I'm going to have Wolf, Sub-Zero, Sonic. We'll set this up as a display and probably take this half wall out at some point. But for now, I wasn't prepared to do the kitchen, so we'll do that as phase 2. So that's an update on the yarn building. We should have drywall done next week, and I can start putting stuff together. AC guys will be done this week. Electrical's done this week. And so we have an ADT alarm system that'll be done next week. And so I'm hoping that drywall and paint will be done in about a week and a half. And it'll at least be somewhat presentable to show people what we're up to on our open house on the 31st. If you're local or somewhere in the state of Florida or wanted to make a drive down the 31st from 10 to 2, we're having an open house just to kind of show everybody the progress. I was kept waiting until I got to a completion point, but we're never going to be complete. We're always going to be chasing. But this building will add quite a bit of extra capacity for us for pulling all the humans out of OGHQ building and moving in here. We call this the yarn building. And I have another, which I'll show you at some point when we get that set up, but I have another building that's almost done. It's 5,000 square feet. This one's 3,200. So we'll have about 12,000 square feet between the 3 buildings to do what we do, which should hold us over for a while. We'll probably start doing separate shifts at some point if we keep, growing and you guys keep supporting. So anyway, I wanted to update you on the yarn building and the progress. This is going to look really, really freaking cool. So stay tuned and we'll keep sharing you the progress as we make it. Thanks for watching. As always, stay tuned for more crazy. See you soon.